Chapter 51 Echoes of Deception. The calm after the fractured grid was deceptive. Sublevel 3 had stabilized. Field teams had returned, and city systems were humming with restored efficiency. Yet Alara Vaughn knew that peace was temporary. Orion's tactics had escalated, and his signature was always subtle: manipulation, deception, infiltration, psychological warfare. He was patient, waiting for cracks to appear in defenses, for trust to falter. Alara's eyes lingered on Nova's interface, the neural network's pulse steady but insistent, scanning patterns of potential internal disruption. Alara, Nova said, voice measured but urgent. Analysis indicates elevated probability of internal compromise within your operational team. Emotional vulnerability and loyalty deviations have been detected. Recommendation: enhanced personnel monitoring and verification protocols. Her chest tightened. Nova was detecting something she had suspected but didn't want to acknowledge. Orion wasn't just attacking the city's infrastructure, he was attacking the human element, targeting trust, exploiting doubts, and planting seeds of uncertainty. Run me the data, she said, her fingers tapping across the console. Graphs, logs, and behavioral patterns filled the screens. Nova highlighted subtle deviations, minor inconsistencies in field reports, delayed responses to urgent messages, anomalies in access logs, and micro behavioral changes among team members. Nothing overt, nothing definitive, but enough to suggest Orion had begun to infiltrate psychologically, perhaps even planting an agent within their ranks. Lena, Alara said, calling over secure comms. We need to verify every team member's loyalty, access privileges, and recent communications. Check for anomalies in behavior and ensure compliance with secure protocols. No exceptions. Understood, Lena responded. Her voice carried a tension that matched Alara's. We'll start immediately. Meanwhile, Dr. Cale Verdon was reviewing encrypted messages intercepted during the previous attacks. He noted subtle patterns, unusual coding sequences, timing inconsistencies, and metadata anomalies. Orion's digital fingerprints were present, but intertwined with human interaction in a way that made it difficult to discern the operative from regular activity. Alara, Verdon said quietly, he's playing a game on multiple levels: physical sabotage, digital intrusion, and now psychological manipulation. We're not just defending systems, we're defending against deception itself. Alara nodded, her mind racing. Orion was testing them, probing weaknesses and exploiting every uncertainty. A single misstep, an unverified order, a misinterpreted communication, a lapse in trust could compromise everything. Nova, she said, initiate continuous monitoring of team communication and behavior. Highlight deviations from baseline patterns. Predict possible infiltration points, both physical and psychological. The neural network pulsed, processing millions of variables in real time. Subtle anomalies emerged: minor hesitation in verbal responses, slight delays in message transmission, changes in eye tracking behavior on surveillance feeds, and uncharacteristic activity on secure terminals. Alara, Nova reported. Probability of internal operative presence, 42%. Identity cannot be confirmed with certainty, but indicators suggest targeted manipulation of field decisions. Recommendation: isolate and verify all high-risk personnel. Alara leaned back, tension coiling in her chest. Orion had entered a new phase. This wasn't about destroying the city's infrastructure anymore. It was about destabilizing the people responsible for defending it. He understood human psychology, and he was exploiting it with precision. Lena, Verdon, she said, We run a controlled verification protocol. Every team member must undergo secure behavioral and access audits. We isolate anomalies without alerting potential infiltrators. Nova will monitor continuously for signs of deception. The audits began. Teams were subjected to simulated scenarios, testing responses under stress, loyalty, and problem solving. Access privileges were temporarily revoked and reinstated under observation. Every interaction, decision, and reaction was recorded, analyzed, and cross referenced. Hours passed and subtle cracks began to emerge. One team member, previously dependable, showed hesitation following digital containment orders. Another displayed anomalies in communication logs, failing to respond promptly to secure messages. While none had committed sabotage, the deviations suggested external influence, a psychological nudge designed to weaken cohesion and create doubt. Alara, Nova said. Pattern recognition suggests external coaching or subtle cues. Operative likely embedded within field operations, guiding decisions indirectly. Probability of intentional disruption 68%. Alara's mind raced. Orion was orchestrating this with surgical precision. His goal wasn't chaos for its own sake. It was to fracture trust, destabilize morale, and turn the defenders into liabilities. We need to flush him out, she said, determination hardening in her voice. Set a controlled scenario. Create a simulated critical failure that would require immediate action. Observe responses. Monitor for hesitation or guidance from outside the team. The scenario was implemented. A simulated energy node failure in a high-density sector was triggered. Backup systems were disabled, forcing rapid decision-making. Field teams responded, following protocol, but subtle indicators began to emerge. One operative delayed critical steps. Another questioned verified data unnecessarily, while others attempted to circumvent secure channels. I see it, Lena said through the comlink. He's guiding them. Subtle clues, timing, questioning, designed to throw us off without revealing himself. Nova highlighted the anomalies, pinpointing moments of deviation, and traced potential external communications. The analysis suggested a human element in the chain, an orchestrator feeding information covertly, influencing decisions without leaving overt traces. Alara, Nova said. Probable internal deception confirmed. Identity of primary influencer 72% match to field operative designation Unit 12A. Verification recommended. Alara's heart sank. Unit 12A had been one of the most reliable operatives, a trusted presence in every high risk mission. The possibility that Orion had infiltrated their ranks was both shocking and terrifying. Isolate Unit 12A immediately, she ordered. Suspend all field operations and communication privileges. Conduct full psychological evaluation and secure digital audit. Minutes later, the operative was discreetly removed from active operations. A battery of tests and monitored interactions began, designed to flush out any external influence or latent sabotage. Nova monitored every signal, every micro-behavioral cue, and every digital transaction, creating a comprehensive profile of anomalies and probable influence. As the process unfolded, subtle truths began to emerge. Unit 12A had been manipulated, coerced, and subtly guided by external communications. Orion's reach extended into the psychological space, twisting loyalty, exploiting fear, and bending human intuition to his will. Alara felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. Orion's escalation was not limited to technology or infrastructure. He had now infiltrated the human element, weaponizing trust and perception. The stakes had shifted dramatically. He's not just attacking systems, she murmured. He's attacking us individually, psychologically, strategically. We can't just defend the city. We have to defend ourselves from each other. Nova pulsed softly, acknowledging the new operational challenge. Recommendation: continuous psychological monitoring and reinforcement of trust protocols across all team members. Integrate AI assisted verification with human oversight. Probability of further deception without intervention high. Alara exhaled slowly. The war had evolved again. Orion was no longer content with indirect sabotage or systemic disruption. He was manipulating the very minds charged with defending the city. Every decision, every hesitation, every doubt became a weapon in his hands. We adapt, she said, voice firm. We anticipate, we train, we fortify, not just our systems, but our minds. He may have infiltrated one of us, but he will not infiltrate all of us. We will remain vigilant, coordinated, and unbreakable. Nova's interface pulsed in quiet agreement, the neural network already scanning patterns, modeling potential psychological manipulations, and developing countermeasures. Alara knew that the next phase of Orion's strategy would be as insidious as it was dangerous. Human trust, manipulated with precision, could unravel the best laid defenses. And somewhere in the shadows, Orion watched, confident that deception could fracture even the most disciplined team. But for Alara and Nova, awareness was power, vigilance was strength, and preparation was the only path to survival. Tomorrow, she said quietly, staring at the holographic city, we confront the echoes of deception, and we will be ready. The city slept, oblivious to the silent battles within its protective networks and human defenders. Sublevel 3 pulsed with vigilance, analyzing, predicting, and preparing. Trust was fragile, but with Nova and her team, Alara vowed it would not break. And as the night deepened, the subtle pulse of the neural network mirrored her determination. Quiet, persistent, and unyielding. Orion's next move would come, but Alara and her team would be ready to meet it.